leads to destruction. You'll die.
I'm sorry?
It's true.
You're right.
What is true?
Evolution is a lie.
That you're right. Yes, sir.
You're not going to say, now I know you exist, God. No, you'll be guilty of the sins you've committed against the God that you know exists. We come at it today because you need a Savior. You need to be set free from the bondage of sin. Jesus said whoever sins is a slave to sin. You need to be set free from
Your
the
proof that
bondage of sin.
evolution could be reversed.
I'm sorry, sir.
Your proof that evolution could be reversed.
I am. So, sir, do you hold to Darwin's racism, sir? Do you believe the people of color here are inferior to you? Do you believe the people of color here are inferior to you? Because Darwin did.
The theory of evolution is not the same as Darwin's views on race.
Sure it is. That's what informed his views on race,
No,
sir.
it's not.
Besides, in Darwinian evolution, sir, there's no speciation.
There's no what?
There's no speciation. A species becoming another species. All you see is adaptation. You don't see macro evolution anywhere.
Yeah. Where do you say? What do you got in the Bible? Then? What do you got in the Bible?
Well,
7 days created.
no, well, sir, I know the same God you do. You simply suppress that truth by your unrighteousness.
What God's that?
The God you know, the God who created you.
Well, you know, there used to be people who believe. There used to be people who believe that God, the thunder and lightning was poor and Zeus having a battle.
Yeah, they were wrong. Right, because they were denying the God they know as well, sir.
They believed it because
It doesn't matter what they believe.
Just a moment. They believed it because they wanted an explanation.
Well, sir, it doesn't matter what we.
explanation.
Sir, that's what you're doing.
You want an explanation.
That's what you're
I'm
doing
not
with.
looking for
Sir, that's what you're doing with evolution.
What?
There's no evidence of evolution.
Yes, there is.
So you believe
Yes,
in it
there is.
because you don't want the God
Yes,
you
there
know,
is.
sir.
God,
What's the evidence for macro evolution, sir? What's the evidence for speciation?
Because you can travel, you can trace the history of it through fossils. I
Sir,
suppose you
there
believe that the fossils were made up, do you?
I'm sorry?
Where did the fossils come from?
Well, the fossils came from a worldwide flood, sir. Animals dying suddenly, massive pressure from water as they lay on the surface. Yes, I can account for fossilization, but you can't account for speciation.
Get back to your Tea Party convention.
Okay, so you have no case, sir, just in ad hominem. Just in that, sir, I gave it to you. When I told you the truth, you ran away.
What?
When I told you the truth, you fled.
No, you don't know what the truth is. You got this
What is
crazy
truth,
idea
sir?
that-
What is truth? What's your definition
My
of truth?
definition of truth, my truth is what you know.
And how do you know it, sir?
How do you know it? By the evidence. There's no evidence.
And how do you know your reasoning's
No
valid?
evidence for
Sir, how do you know your reasoning's
No.
valid? How do you know your reasoning's valid?
Just a moment.
How do you know what you perceive as true is actually true?
I don't know. Listen, I don't know how the world was created. I don't know that. One day, I doubt if it will happen in my lifetime. I doubt if maybe it will even happen in the lifetime of this earth. It will. There is an explanation out there somewhere. I don't know what it is.
Well, sir, what will?
Just like the people who believe in Christ.
Well, sir, what will happen is you're going to die. I don't know when, but you're going to die, and you're going to stand before the God you know, and He's going to judge your heart.
Where's your evidence for that?
Same place you get it, sir.
Where's your
Because the
evidence?
God who.
Where's your evidence for the
I'm
God
going to
who
answer you.
is standing?
Let me answer your question.
Let me show you.
You're not going to let me answer, are you, sir?
Well, you don't have any answer.
I do.
No, you have this crazy idea that evolution isn't real.
Could you be wrong about that? Could you be wrong about everything you think you
All
know?
of the evidence shows that evolution exists.
Sir, how do you know your
None of-
reasoning of
there's no
that?
evidence to show
Sir,
that God exists.
sir, how do you know your
Where's the evidence that
how do
God
you know your interpretation of
Where
the
is
evidence?
your evidence that God exists?
Sir, God's not on trial, you are.
No,
You know
you-
God exists the same way I do.
No, I don't.
You
know.
do know. You
I
just,
don't know.
sir, you suppress the truth by your
Now
unrighteousness.
you're just you're in denial.
No, I'm not,
You're
sir.
in denial.
I'm not.
I'm saying to you that I have no evidence that God exists.
You do, sir.
No, I don't.
You just deny it. You suppress it.
No, I don't.
Your hatred of God allows you to
Where is
believe in
your-
evolution.
Where is your evidence that God exists?
I'm looking at him.
No.
Creation.
I'm
Creation, sir.
And
I'm looking at your blue eyes.
I don't know how creation goes. I don't know.
You do, sir. You do.
I don't.
The heavens declare the glory of God, but professing to be wise, sir, respectfully, you've become a fool and you worship the creature rather than the creator who made you. See, I can account for this,
No,
but you can't.
No, you can't. You just say God did it. That's your explanation for everything.
Right, and that's the explanation you deny. You know it's true,
I
but
know
you
it's
simply hate the
I
God who
don't
made
know
you.
it's true.
You do, sir.
I don't know it's true.
How do you know your reasoning's valid, sir? How do you know? How do you know anything for certain?
Nobody knows anything for certain.
Are you certain about that?
Yes.
Okay, so there's one. See the absurdity of your worldview? You said nobody can be certain of anything, and I'm certain of that. That's absurd, sir. You just denied your own premise.
Certainty comes from experience and evidence.
So you're relying on your experience. How do you know your experience is valid?
How do I know it isn't? I don't know it isn't.
That's because you deny the God you know.
What God?
The God you know, sir.
Where is your evidence of God?
Sir, without
You're just
God,
saying
you
God
can't
did
make
it.
sense of the world,
You're
sir.
just saying God did evil. That's all you're saying.
Sir, you can't
God
make sense
did
of the
evil.
world
have
while
no-
you deny God,
you
sir.
have no
You
justification
just,
for that.
I do, sir. Could you be wrong?
You may believe it.
Could you be
I'm not saying
wrong?
that you don't
Sir,
believe
could you
it.
be wrong about everything you think you know?
Not about everything.
Okay, how do you know you're right about anything? Your senses?
How do you know?
Because the God who made us,
There you
sir,
go. You
the
got
God
something.
who made us
There's
gave
your-
you and me
there's your God.
you and me,
There's
sir,
your
the God who made us,
It's all God.
the God who, yes, it is all God.
It
The
is
God
all
who made us gave us the ability to reason. He gave us the ability to know things.
Yeah.
But you suppress that truth and you run around in absurdity.
No, he gave-
I'm certain that I can't be certain about anything. That is an absurdity, sir. You don't live that way.
Everybody knows.
All right, sir, I'd like you to go take 12 billion pounds out of your account.
What?
Go take 12 billion pounds out of your account. All you need is your own beliefs, right?
People like you've already done that. They did it last week and they voted to leave the area.
Sir, I didn't have a vote. I'm American.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't have a vote.
I could tell.
I didn't have a
We'll
vote.
have a vote in November.
Oh, I'm not voting for anyone for president, sir. Both of the candidates are wicked. But see, I have a standard where I could say that. All you have is absurdity. All you have is your opinion.
No, all you have is just belief in a God who may or may not exist.
No, you know
I
God
don't
exists,
say that
sir.
God doesn't exist, but I say it's very unlikely.
Based on what, sir? Based on what?
What's your basis that it exists?
The same as you, sir. You simply deny it. See, every time I ask you a question, you won't answer.
I have answered it.
No, you answer a question with a question.
No, you answer the questions and I say God did it.
Right, exactly. What's your
You're
answer?
all-inclusive.
What's your answer? You don't have one.
Where's your evidence? Where's your
Sir, I
evidence?
get my evidence the same place you
Where's
do.
your evidence?
We all look at the same evidence. You
Where's
simply
your
interpret it without God.
Where is your evidence that God
All right, sir, I can tell you again if you'd like. All of the evidence I look at is the same evidence that you look at. I look at the creation and you say that happened by chance.
No.
Something exploded out of nothing and became everything. And I say God has testified to his creation. The glories of the heavens testify to the glories of
Where
God.
did God testify to his
What's that?
In the Bible was written by men.
Sir, God has written his law on your heart, sir. You know it's wrong to lie because you were created in the image of God, and God is not a liar. You know it's wrong to steal because you were created in the image of God, and God is not a thief.
I'm not saying that you're a liar. I'm saying
I didn't say you were calling me a liar. I'm saying that you know it's wrong to
you're
lie.
saying that evolution is a lie.
Macro Darwinian evolution is a lie. Yes, sir.
How do you get that?
How I get that? Because there is no evidence, first of all, of speciation, but beyond that, because God has declared that he created the heavens and the earth. And you know that, but yet you accept this fairy tale for
There's a
grown-ups.
lot in the Bible that I agree with, a lot in it that I
It doesn't matter. You're not the judge over God, sir.
Just a minute. But, just a minute.
Okay.
Just because you don't, just because you might find things in Darwin's theory of evolution that I don't agree with, that doesn't mean it's all wrong.
But sir, you're not the judge over God. God's the judge over you.
But yeah, that's the only answer you have.
God's not on the witness stand in your courtroom. God has already found you guilty of violating his law. You're simply waiting for him to carry his death sentence out. But there's hope for you, sir, in Christ. There's hope for every person in Christ. But if you stand before God in your pride and your arrogance and your denial of God, he's going to find you guilty and you're going to spend eternity in hell. And I don't want that for you.
Why do you stand before me with your arrogance and your belief in me?
I'm sorry?
Why do you stand before me with your ignorance and your belief?
I stand before you because the Bible commands me to love God and to love people. I'm having this conversation with you in obedience to God to love you with the truth.
No, you're not alive. You're just deluded.
Have a good day, sir. Turn to Christ and live.
He can change you. Jesus said,
Well, I don't
you
know
must be
mentally,
born
but he's
again.